A moment of heat. The cabin was quiet, save for the crackle of the fire and the gentle slosh of water against porcelain. The scent of lavender soap drifted through the air, warm and familiar, but it wasn't enough to drown out the phantom of him. Nathaniel. Calla slid deeper into the bath, the water licking at her skin, the heat seeping into her bones. She closed her eyes and let the memories come. She could almost smell him, that deep, rugged scent that had clung to him, the mix of saddle leather and warm cedar, the faint traces of whiskey lingering on his breath, a hint of tobacco, never from a cigar, just from being near men who smoked them, and beneath it all, something uniquely his, earthy, masculine, the scent of a man who had spent his days under the open sky and his nights wrapped around her. It had been years since she had buried her face against his chest, inhaling that intoxicating blend of roughness and warmth. But her body still remembered. Her lips parted as she let herself sink into the memory, into the way he had tasted, rich, bold, and just a little dangerous. The sharp burn of whiskey on his tongue, fading into something softer, sweeter. The salt of his skin after a long day in the sun. The way his breath always carried the faintest trace of peppermint when he kissed her slow and deep. God. He had kissed her like he was starving. "Come here, my love," he used to murmur against her lips, his voice thick with want, with need. Her fingers skimmed over her collarbone, tracing the curve of her throat, imagining the way his mouth had moved there, how he would taste her, linger on her skin, savoring her like she was the finest thing he had ever known. He had always taken his time, always teased her until she was trembling, desperate for more. "Patience, my love." A soft sigh slipped from her lips as she trailed her fingers lower, letting the memory of him guide her. She could almost feel him now, his strong hands gripping her waist, his mouth hot against her skin, tasting her, devouring her with slow, deliberate strokes of his tongue. Her breath hitched, her thighs parted beneath the water, the ache curling deeper, hotter, sharper. She could still feel the way he had held her down, his lips dragging over her stomach. Lower, lower. "Let me take my time with you, my love." Her body arched slightly, the pleasure building, coiling tighter, her pulse thrumming in anticipation of what would come next. She was so close to him, and then gunfire. The scent of blood and smoke, the taste of iron and ash. Nathaniel's breath, ragged, then gone. The memory shattered. Calla's eyes snapped open, her chest rising and falling in sharp, uneven gasps. The pleasure was gone, ripped away like he had been. Her body still burned, her skin still tingled, but now it felt wrong. Tainted by grief, by loss, by the bitter reminder that no matter how vividly she remembered, Nathaniel would never touch her again. Her hands curled into fists against the porcelain. Damn it. She sat up abruptly, reaching for the whiskey bottle, tipping it back, letting the burn in her throat drown out the last traces of his taste, his scent, his touch. The town of Silver Creek lay silent beneath the stars. But inside, Sheriff Calla Hart sat alone, wrapped in steam, loss, and the cruel memory of a man she could still taste on her lips.